What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rock and Groove, and today we're going to be doing a shootout between two Caline double pedals, the Crazy Cacti and the High Chief Overdrive. What's up, everybody? Jay here with Rock and Groove, your one-stop shop for all things guitar. Thank you for tuning in again. Be sure to like and subscribe right now. Stick around. Listen up, we got a lot of other videos coming, and we want to make sure you get to hear some of these reviews that are kind of lacking on YouTube. So be sure to like and subscribe. Today we're going to be doing a shootout between two Caline pedals. Now, Caline is a very popular budget pedal company that's putting out a lot of good stuff, especially overdrives, and they've picked up steam over the years, and they are really putting out some good quality pedals. Now, one pedal that I picked up a while back was the Crazy Cacti, and I love this pedal. And I got this, and I did a review on it. You can check that video out here. And I went and I played it and I loved it, and I just started playing shows with it, and I just played with my band with it all the time, and I'm satisfied with it. This is a really awesome pedal. But there's also another double pedal just like this that I saw that Caline had that I thought looked pretty interesting, and so I gave it a shot, and that's the High Chief right here. And so what's the big difference between these two? Well, apparently the Crazy Cacti is a clone of the Full Tone Full Drive 2 MOSFET, and the High Chief is a clone for the Analog Man King of Tone. Now, to be honest with you, it's been a while since I played the Full Drive, and I've never played a King of Tone. And to be honest with you, in my reviews, I don't really focus on how well these two clones stack up against the real deals. I just want to know if these pedals are good enough for me to play on my own. Do they sound good for me? Do they do what I want them to do? And so, as you can see when you watch both of these videos, they are both awesome, and I love both of these pedals. They're fantastic. But the one thing that I noticed that I didn't see anybody doing, and that I was curious to do for myself, is I want to see how well they stack up next to each other at the same time. What are the main differences? When I plug one in and play it, and then I take my time to stop and go do something else and come back and play the other pedal, are my ears playing tricks on me? Or do they really just sound the same, or I'm just imagining that one sounds a little bit different, or can I really even tell? So let's put these two together. So I'm going to be running through my AC-15, I'm going to be using a ditto looper, and I'm going to have these two right in with each other in the chain, and we're going to go back and forth. We're going to play and see how much these two work together, what they can do by themselves, even when they're both pushed to the limit. So let's get started and take a look. So what are my final thoughts? First of all, as I've said this in other videos, I think both of these pedals are fantastic. My personal favorite is the High Chief. So I'll go one at a time. Let's talk about the High Chief first. First of all, I really like the tone, like I said. The transparency in the overdrive is fantastic. It's not as bassy. There are more mids, definitely more highs, but I think that really does contribute to the overdrive really sounding crunchy and even distortion coming through in a nice, clear way. I can hear a distinction between my notes. I can hear the changes. I can hear each string that I'm playing come through with clarity, and I appreciate that. Compared to some pedals, it just becomes a muddy mess. This definitely does not do that. I also really like the fact that the boost can be activated independently without the overdrive, and that boost can also be used on other pedals. As you'll notice in the video, I was able to use this boost on top of the Crazy Cacti, and it boosted the Crazy Cacti. But you probably noticed that the boost didn't do anything like that over on the Crazy Cacti. So I really like the boost on this pedal as well. I really like the boost also had a lot of control as to what it could do to the drive channel, but at the same time, it didn't override the drive channel. So no matter where I had my drive, the boost boosted it from where it was. It didn't take the overdrive and take it into a soaring distortion, even though the overdrive wasn't set to that. It stayed in that vicinity and just gave it the boost like it's supposed to. And I really, really appreciated that. And I really like it. We have a show coming up soon, and this baby is gonna get its chance for sure. And so I cannot wait for that. It's fantastic. Now, as far as the Crazy Cacti, number one, I think this is an awesome pedal. I love it. It's gonna stay in my bag. It'll definitely serve as a backup, if not my number one pedal, depending on what I'm wanting to play. And that's something I'm noticing here. It's all really preference. Both of these pedals are good, and they have the same high quality. And so I'm not knocking either one of them for that. I just think they both have different personalities. And as we can see with this one here has, and I called it earlier in its own video, it has a nasty drive to it, and I really like that. It's really dirty, and I won't say not muddy as in like a really muddy pickup or muddy overdrive. So muddy, not necessarily in a bad way, but there's a dirt to this that I don't think the High Chief has, but there's a dirtiness to this that I really, really appreciate. And when I hit that sweet spot on this, it gives me fantastic tone, and I really like it. The one thing I don't like about this though is that boost does not work unless your overdrive is going. So you probably noticed in the video that I was sitting there clicking the drive or the boost, nothing was happening without this overdrive going. It could not be used with a High Chief, even though the High Chief's boost could be used with the Crazy Cacti. It was really limited, so my overdrive had to be going, and the boost brought it up. I did notice that boost really took it over the top. No matter where my drive was, and when I hit that boost, man, that boost knob really could take it from a softer, warm overdrive to a distortion pretty quick. I also noticed one thing that does kind of bother me about this is that it does get a little bit buzzy. And I've mentioned that before in other videos. It gets buzzy, it gets a little bit fuzzy at times when you have the high gain. But that's probably, I would say, in my personal opinion, that some pedals are just not made. That's just not what they're for. That's not what their sweet spot is, as I call it. A lot of people think that was, say, like the Golden Horse that I reviewed, a KTR or clone, that they want to crank the gain all the way up, and it doesn't sound the best because that's not where its sweet spot is. So I think all these pedals have their own sweet spot, and this one is a fantastic pedal too. But at the same time, it really doesn't matter what my opinion is. It's just what I prefer with my ears. Your ears are different. That's all that really matters. How does it sound to you? Are you getting the sound you're wanting to get through your playing? And so there you go. A good comparison between these two pedals. Give them a shot. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Check us out on Instagram. Thank you so much. And remember, have fun.